Snake eyes, 7-Eleven, don't let me down, boys. Give me snake eyes, 7-Eleven.
Okay, next episode up is an episode of Simon and Simon. And this time I'm doubling for Gerald McRaney. And the footage you'll see will look quite familiar because it's the same footage that they shot in Turkey Shoot. They already owned the footage, CBS, and when I told them I could give them a better shot with a newer hang glider, they said, no, we're quite pleased with this and we can match it up with McRaney, only this time he's going to be drugged and they're going to make it look like a suicide, so they're throwing Gerald off the cliff when he's all drugged and passed out to go to an untimely death that would look like he just had an accident in a hang glider in the following sequence of Simon and Simon.
This damn sure better look okay.
Gonna look like an accident. Man takes a flight in a hang glider, bounces off the cliffs, falls in the water. Happens all the time, then his brother drowns. Trying to pull him out. Come on, let's get him up.
Both going to the same place.
Okay, the next sequence up is a movie called Seven, produced and directed by Andy Sidaris, who was the executive producer for Wide World of Sports. I'd worked with Andy on Wide World of Sports, and he came to me to do some hang gliding. This time I was doubling for a black man, and I had to blow up the bad guy who was on a golf course that was always surrounded with bodyguards, and I dropped a bomb right on top of that building and blew him to smithereens in a feature film called Seven.
What's a hang glider doing here? The beaver's going.
Aloha, you mothers.
The next sequence you're going to see is a Japanese Coca Cola commercial. In the early 80s, the Japanese liked to use the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Caucasian actors. So I'm in the opening sequence running down Uapalakua on the side of Haleakala in a hang glider for this Japanese Coca Cola commercial filmed all around the country and starting here in Hawaii.
Coca-Cola.
Next up, this is another film produced and directed by Andy Sidaris. If you'll notice, it's Playboy models, tits, asses, and stunts. So I second unit directed and stunt coordinated the following sequences of Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Donna's gonna drop some noise grenades to flush them out.
Price is high, but it's worth it if it's found free.
The following sequence demonstrates a bullet hit and how the preparation goes into showing the blood splattering when a guy gets shot. Donovan, our special effects, does a pretty good job of explaining the little firecrackers that go under our shirts unseen and then explode depending on the rating of the show, whether it's PG or R, on how much blood can come splattering out. Enjoy the following sequence of how to do a bullet hit.
What I'm doing here today is we're demonstrating a bullet hit, a make-believe. This is called a one-grain hit right here. It's a cap, that's what it is. We can make the cap go under the blood bag as I got it set up here for this scene that we're gonna do today. It's PG, it's for television. If we put the hit on the top, then we got rated R. It's like a big feature film. Then it's gonna make it look more bloodier. Here we got just water, coloring, food coloring. Sometimes we use some kind of strawberry syrup or something like that. And cornstarch to make it thick. This is a leather pad. It's a bullet hit pad. This is protect the person, the stuntman. This is just to make sure that the hit goes the other way. If we didn't have the pad, the guy would get hurt. The hit would go into him. See? It would come out, but it also will go the other way. See? Anytime you fire something, it goes two ways. Even a gun, it goes two ways. But if you got a backing, it'll go only the way that it can go out. Stunt guide, we use just this pad, this bullet pad. And then you got your lead wire. Coming down, we just connect it to this wire. This is the hit wire.
And the timing is set up when they pull out the gun as it's fired, and Donovan would go ahead and set off the charges. And that one, you'd see the blood spurting out. All of the explosives will be set off electrically by Donovan here. If you notice, you got the wires hanging down here, so you want to be careful not to trip over your wires.
Usually we go down the pans and try to hide the wire as much as we can.
The other thing that you want to make sure that you don't do when you're working with little explosives like this is getting your hands or your arms in front of them, because it'll blow out on you and you'll end up with a pretty good powder burn. So you want to keep your hands away from the charges going off as well.
So you ready, buddy?
I'm ready, brother.
Okay, buddy. Let me shoot you.
Oh, don't shoot. Do not try this at home.
No, I didn't do it. Ah! Ah! Ta-da!
Okay, now you know how we did it. See how many bullet hits go off on my jacket as Carlos Palomino, world boxing champion in the 80s, and Alexis Arguello star in a film called Fists of Steel. See how many shots I take before I go 25 feet to the ocean below. The following footage is of a television show that we did in Hawaii called Saturday AM. And it's kind of a kid's show. But they came to me and they said, would you mind demonstrating how you do stunts? The motto here is always safety first. Your wardrobe pretty much determines the kind of pads you can wear. I hate it when they tell you, you're going to be doing stunts, but you're doing them in shorts and a tank top. Hawaii kind of clothes. This time, it was my choice. Wardrobe was long pants, knee pads, girdle pads, and let's do this scene, little road rage scene for Saturday AM, and not get a scratch.
Shooting a fight sequence, your distance that you get is an arm's distance and 6 inches, because you never really need to be more than 6 inches to his nose. And then we talk about stacking up. If you're right in front of each other, the camera behind can't see anything. This is what's known as stacking. So we want to always be spaced apart. So when he goes to throw that first punch, and I take the snap, he again, if you watch, he's not any closer than about 6 inches to my face. And the same with the other way, is who's selling the punch is the person who's taking it. That's what all the head snaps are all about, and snapping your head, and you practice getting your cheeks and everything just as loose as you can so it really looks like you just got whacked. And even the person that's punching, you know, just your whole body, because when you hit something, your whole body kind of shakes and shudders. So it's that acting that comes into it as you're selling each punch.
When I get out of the car, this should be 4 quick punches. Be a left, a right, backhand, right, yeah, right.
He's going to bring it in, pitch it sideways, jump out of the car, and we'll start a fight sequence. Who taught you how to drive?
Didn't you see me coming down the road?
I saw you. Didn't you see me?
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah? Got you.
Yeah, I had enough.
Back to driving school.
Next up, another television series filmed in Hawaii called Hawaiian Heat. Stunt coordinator was Ronnie Rondell from Stunts Unlimited, and he gave me an opportunity to do one of my first car gags where I'd be slamming and crashing into a police car with a nose-mounted camera. Ronnie looked me sternly in the eye and he said, "John, if you hit that camera, you'll never work again." So I'm doubling for the bad guy as I drive that gray Lincoln Continental, sliding it, crashing it, running out in front of an 18-wheeler and getting smashed in an episode of Hawaiian Heat.
I'm gonna see about Goldie. Go get him!
Ouch. Getting hit by that 18-wheeler kind of ended my day there. Next up is another Hawaiian Heat episode where we blow up everything from volleyballs to a guy in a hotel room. I'm the guy kneeling next to him as I get blown up with him. And then it's a chase scene off through the golf course of the Turtle Bay Hilton, stunt coordinated by Ronnie Rondell.
Don't turn away, don't turn away.
The rookie got his things all over the place.
Don't move him. Don't move him. Get a little hot.
Stop!
Go. It's moving, Ed. Go, go. I know he's speeding.
Once again, another episode of Hawaiian Heat, where this time I'm a bad guy. And you'll see me get out of the back seat and get shot right away because I got to change my wardrobe and turn into a police officer. Then you'll see me slamming and banging around and crunching through boxes and things in a police car in this following episode of Hawaiian Heat, once again stunt coordinated by Ronnie Rondell.
Must be Willard's goon squad.